Welcome to the podcast, Michael. How are you?
I'm great.
Have you ever done a podcast?
I've done 3, I think.
Name them.
2 with Josh and Tim, and 1 that's yet to be released with my coach, Blake Jerome.
Oh, he's out of Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
He's out of, gosh.
He's
I've had him on my pod, I think.
Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. He's like a diehard elk hunter.
Yeah, he is. He's a killer.
Yep.
He gets after it and he can shoot a bow.
How long has he been your coach?
Really for as long as I've been shooting a target bow, I think, because he was kind of the one that more or less inspired me to do it. Like I met him randomly at a shoot in Moses Lake as one of my first indoor tournaments, and him and a couple of the other shooters that he's coached were both shooting. They were all shooting there, and they saw me shooting a hunting bow, and they're like, "Man, you're shooting that thing good. Why don't you have a target bow?" And I was like, "All right, maybe I'll get into
How
this
old
thing."
Are you?
20.
Okay, so Michael Allman is 20.
21 in May, but I'm 20.
You're 20 right now?
Yes.
You see the look on my face? I thought you were 24.
No.
You're 20 years old. Like, I
Yeah.
could offer you a beer right now, and you could not legally drink it.
Correct. People have done that a lot. Set one in front of me like, here. I'm like, I can't have that.
Okay. Wow. Where are you from?
So originally I'm from Shoreline, Washington. So just like 10 minutes north of Seattle. And then I think about 2018, me, my mom, and my 3 siblings moved to Post Falls, Idaho.
You, your mom, your siblings, how many of them?
So I have my little brother, Steven, and then I have 2 older sisters, Lily and Mary. And we moved over here, and we ended up getting a place for like really good money before everything shot up like crazy. So
Yeah.
it worked out perfect, because had it been a year later, we probably wouldn't have been able to afford it. So
It took me forever to move to Idaho.
yeah.
Mostly convincing my wife, but also the prices were terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome. No dad?
I do have a dad, just not really in the picture right now.
Mhm.
I used to see him a little bit here and there, but he still lives over in Washington.
So are you the man of the house?
I guess you could say that. But I mean, we all kind of work as a team at my house, 5 adults living in the same house. It's more of a, I guess we all just chip in the same way.
That's cool.
It's not like one of us is the most, this is my house or something, and one of them's the most responsible. We all work as a team really well. So
You gonna live at home for the foreseeable future?
for now, I don't know. It just depends. There's a couple other things at play that could end up changing that the next couple of years, probably year and a half, 2
You
years.
got a pretty serious girlfriend.
I do.
What's
Yeah.
her name?
Kayla.
Yeah. How long have y'all been dating?
So I've known her for years, probably 4 or 5 years, maybe, like ever since I moved to Idaho. And she doesn't live far away, but I think we've been official since July of last year. So like 8 months right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's why I had you come over.
Okay.
People like you when you're on my channel. You haven't been on my channel much, but the response was overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I don't really man, I'll be honest. I see all comments. I don't always respond. Usually because I don't have, the mean ones are the only ones I want to respond to, and that's not healthy for anybody. The positive ones are awesome, but my identity is not Dan, an ELKSHAPE YouTube guy. My identity is a follower of the good Lord, a husband, a father, into fitness, and then elk hunting, and then career. I put career at the very back because all those other things take precedence. Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
If my identity was twisted, I would probably be caught up in every little dopamine hit of a compliment on a social media post or platform.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to get that out of the table. But I do see comments, and the ones when you were in the video recently were overwhelmingly impressive. Did you see any of them?
Yeah, I went through them.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to
Isn't
see
it?
people. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I always get pretty good feedback, of course, at the shop. Making sure I'd always make sure that people are taken care of the way that I would. I set up someone else's bow, how I'd set up my bow.
Who taught you that? Not setting up, but who taught you to go the extra mile?
So, oh boy, let's see. Where did I start? I think it was one of my friends, Cody. He ran a shop for a while that I just started. I mean, I was going to his thing and seeing him work on my bow and stuff back when I was just doing hunting bow stuff and just getting into it. And I would just ask questions because I'm homeschooled, and so like asking questions, I'm never afraid to ask a question to anybody, and always taught that way. And so, anyways, I just started asking him, "Hey, what are you doing? What's that? Why are you doing that?" And whatever, I wanted to learn all this stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually, I just kind of took it on, started doing some things, and built up a little bit of skill over about a year and a half or so. And then eventually Justin gave me a call and was like, "Hey, what are you doing for work right now? And do you want to come work at the shop?" And yeah, just kind of went from there.
What were you doing for work?
So I was actually working at North 40 in Coeur d'Alene, which I was doing the archery shop there, but it's not of the same level. It's definitely just more retail. It's just having a person behind the counter to just make sure product goes out the door. It's less of a real shop that you get real relationships and you can really help people. And it's so corporate. It's just hard for that.
How
for
long
that
did you
particular
do that?
thing. I did that for a year.
Okay.
Yeah, right
And
about on the
so
dot.
you agreed to Justin Grimes calling you up and saying, "Hey, come in for an interview," or whatever they do. And you get picked up by Spokane Valley Archery. When was that? When did you start at Spokane Valley Archery?
I think I started June of, let's see, that would be June of 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've actually known you longer than I thought. That's crazy. So June of 23. Yeah, that makes sense because I've walked in to that shop a million times and you're the first guy to say hello
Yeah.
every time, which is a really good thing.
Always like being friendly.
Yeah, it's welcoming.
Yeah.
So how long did it take from you? Did they start you out just making arrows? What was your first job at Spokane Valley Archery?
So Justin, he had kind of seen my work as far as working on bows specifically.
Okay.
Because of course there's some translation like from people that go to North 40, people that go to Spokane Valley and whatever. And so you kind of see each other's work around the area. And anyways, I guess he liked how my work looked and whatever. Since I wasn't doing anything, I think I'd let him know because I come visit. Even though while I was working over there, I'd still come visit now and then.
Yeah.
And I think Justin got my number one way or another. And then anyways, he called me and he said, "Hey, I need someone to just work on service work bows. You sit in this corner and you tune all these bows, and we got a busy season, June, July, August, September, and these bows need to get turned out and we are way too busy. Can you do that?" And I was like, "Sure. Yeah." And so anyways, that was my job. He's like, "Don't even worry about working with customers. Don't worry about any of that. Just sit in that corner and work on bows." And there was enough bows that I could do that not full time. I was there 3 days a week, but the entire time I was there for 3 days a week for 4 months, there was plenty. So
You got a lot of reps in.
oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
When did you become a manager?
That was 2 or 3 months ago now. I can't remember exactly.
You're pretty
the
young
day.
to be a manager, man.
Yeah,
That's a leadership role.
it is. Yeah.
How do you like the challenge so far?
I like it a lot, really. I've always kind of, I don't know, I've never been afraid to take anything on, really. I mean, it's that kind of position. It wasn't necessarily something I expected. It was just kind of something that it ended up working out where, being around Josh enough and, building those relationships, he came to me and said, "Hey, Justin can't really do this anymore, and I think that you can do this." And I was like, "Well, okay, let's talk about it." And, it took some convincing. I didn't want to do it at first. I think it took like a month or two of really talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even full time until what was it, October last year, I think. So I've only been full time for like 4 months now. And so that was like an instant switch of like, okay, you're full time, and now you're responsible for opening the shop, closing the shop, making sure end of day happens, making sure stuff happens, making sure the people are working, making sure this business is making money. And so it was just kind of a lot, but it wasn't something I was afraid of. And yeah, I just took it on and it's been great.
I think it fits for what you're trying to really do ultimately, which is become a professional archer.
Yeah.
And you've been really clear about that from the time I very first met. Who's that kid over there who wants to be a professional archer? So that's kind of cool about you, is like you know what your vision is
Yeah.
at a young age, which is great, man. Funny story. I called Bodie Turner before Vegas, and it's right after we shot that Gas System X video with you. And I'll be honest, like we thought that video would take 30 minutes, and we filmed. Remember how long that
Yeah,
took?
it was like 2 hours or something, or whatever it was.
And
yeah.
I was like, I feel like I got to know you in those 2 hours because I'd only seen you in passing, very friendly, maybe a little banter here or there, but nothing crazy, right? I went out of my way to call Bodie Turner, and I'm like, hey, man, I need you to know something about this Michael Allman guy. He's legit. Like, he's homeschooled, so he's missing some social cues that we all got from public school, but you got to get past that. He's not a weirdo. He is genuinely a cool dude. So I just called Bodie to like vouch for you because I knew you were going to rub elbows with him, and I didn't know if he had a perception of you yet, but I wanted to make damn sure that he knew that I was vouching for you. I was like, this guy's cool. Like, get to know him, lean into him. He's not like cocky. He's not annoying. He's actually hungry for knowledge and wants to do what you're doing. So hopefully you and Bodie become buds. I would love to see that. He's coming to town for elk immersion. Hopefully you guys get to hang out a little bit. Bodie's a great kid, and he's a kid. He's younger than you.
Yeah.
You know, still in high school. He's still finishing his senior year, which is crazy, but he won Vegas in 2025, which was great. Like, good for him. He lost the year prior. He got knocked out pretty early in the shoot-offs. I think he shot all perfect rounds in his qualification. And I know that you'd went to Vegas in 2024.
Yeah.
And you didn't qualify. You had one game where you lost focus or something.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I know I wasn't the caliber of shooter then that I am now. Like, even so, there's something about it that it's not just that you have to shoot a 900. You have to be capable of shooting a lot of X's if you want a chance. You can shoot a 900 with, like, for instance, there's 90 possible X's. You can go shoot a 900 with 60 X's and get in the shoot off and go out first round. It means nothing. I mean, sure, you get the check for shooting a 900 or whatever, but to actually have a shot at it, yeah, you have to be.
What's the check for 900?
They say, I think it's guaranteed 2,500 for if you just shoot a 900.
That'll kind of help cover some of the travel.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Okay. So last year was your first Vegas, and I believe you told me that you were like practicing with friends and like in between games and like not treating yourself like, hey, you're a professional archer here to win.
Sure.
That never probably crossed your mind last year, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have a lot of expectation. And I didn't really want to have a lot of expectations because I really just wanted to experience it because I'd never been to Vegas, of course, and everybody's telling me not just that, you know, it's this big event and, you know, that it's so prized and whatever. If you win it, it's a Super Bowl of archery. It was also people telling me like, hey, this is just the most fun you're going to have in a year.
Okay.
Like, you know, go down there, make friends, visit the trade show, go see everything, talk to people, and you're just going to have fun.
Were they right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I had a great time last year. It was amazing. Josh and we both went last year, and being able to split costs was awesome too. And it was really fun last year. I had the one arrow get away from me on day 3, but I mean, even if I would have shot a 900, I wasn't shooting the X's then that I am now, and so that's kind of what my point was.
So what changed in a year?
Boy, what changed in a year?
Come on, dude. I mean,
there's a lot of it. As soon as you get to a certain level, a lot of it's really mental.
Yeah.
When it comes to, I mean, you get it with elk hunting and stuff. People just can't overcome the mental block of, if I want to achieve this, I have to go climb that mountain. And if it doesn't pay off, I have to go climb another mountain. And you just have to keep going and going. And it's a lot of mental, and it's mental strain, and it's difficult. Kind of similar in archery, except it's focus. It's mental focus of, it's not just that you have to draw back and shoot an arrow. It's that you have to draw back and shoot the same arrow every time. And you have to do that while you have the pressure of, if I miss one, it's over. If, I mean, this is for, you know, $60,000 potentially or whatever it may. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that try to get in your head, and you really have to be really mentally strong with that. And I think I did really well this year, about just staying focused on what I was doing. I was praying so much, like on
Really? A lot of big
my
faith, dude?
gosh, yes, yeah.
Love
I
it.
mean, seriously, on the line, just constantly, just Lord, don't let me shake as much as I know. Like I know I could shake sometimes. Let me stay calm. Let me stay focused. Like I know I'm not gonna be able to get everything out of my head, but let these shots land. And that's what it ended up being. And there were some shots where it was just full trust. There's nothing I could do about it. Pin didn't look good, shot didn't feel right, and it just landed right.
I
So
love that. So you ended up getting 8th at the 2025 Las Vegas shoot, the Vegas shoot. 8th place in the world. So what does that look like? I wasn't there, and I hate the media coverage there, but that's another podcast. You shoot a 900, qualifying for the shoot off. How many 900s were how many people got 900s?
So out of, let's see here.
Ballpark.
Yeah, I believe I think there was like 3,900 people in the shoot total. Tons of different divisions, of course.
Sure.
For championship divisions, so championship open, championship senior, and championship women's. Of the 3 combined, there were 31 900s.
Sorry, I got to let that sink in.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your X count after those 3 rounds?
I think mine was 77.
Okay.
Which last year I had an 899 with like 64. And so my X count bumped up a lot, which I was really happy with. I mean, of course, it's still not quite, when you have guys like Bodie shooting 89 X's this year, sets a new record. And Matthias shot 88, I think. And it's still not to that level, but it's at least a step in the right direction.
I think the difference, and I want you to get there, and maybe you're on your way, is like Bodie, a 10 for him is the X, like some part of the arrow touching the X. And anything outside of that to him is like a 9 in his mind. Whereas most people, if they don't hit the X, they're still a 10, they're happy. They didn't hit a 9.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference between what's going to get you from 8th to 1st, is that it's all about X's or touching that X. And if it's just out, that's equivalent to a 9.
Yeah, honestly, I'd say that mental switch right there, just that little change of instead of trying to hit the 10, you're trying to hit the X. That was kind of what really drove me to hit like some of my, like when I first got a target bow, shoot a 300. Because what's going to happen if you're just aiming for the 10, you're going to miss it sometimes. If you're only aiming for the X and you're aiming for a lot smaller, then when you miss, it's still 10. And that was a little switch that I made very early on. And of course, it's just a game of perfection now.
It is.
And that's all it is. Bodie shot perfect, and it's cutthroat. It really is.
So at 31, and by the way, you're shooting a Title 38?
Title 40 this year.
Title 40 this year. Okay. And are you sponsored by Matthews at all?
So I don't have an official contract or anything, but our shop account manager has been very generous, and he's been taking care of me.
Well, he should. You guys buy a lot of Matthews from him.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
And him and Josh have a great relationship.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I'm pumped to see that you shoot Matthews. Obviously, this is Matthews shape.
Yeah.
Is what I've been told. So anyways, so 31 athletes, male, female, senior, open, all that are on the floor. How do they go? How do they start making cuts?
Well, so it's, of course, you have your different divisions. So like the senior championship, there was a 1-900, so they win. You still had to shoot off for, I think you still had to shoot off for 2nd or maybe for 3rd.
Sure.
But there was that. Same thing with women's championship. There was 1-900. There was like 11 899s. And so you had a ton of gals shooting off for 2nd.
Yep.
That was a whole big shoot off. And then for championship open, you had 29
Dang,
900s.
That's way more than I thought. Okay, so 29. How do you get from 29? Like, do you guys go, all right, 3 arrows and then we judge? Or is it ends?
Yeah, it's ends.
Multiple ends?
First end is they have one for practice. So you just get up there and make sure your sight's right. Which practice round, it's funny. People keep asking me like, how was the nerves on the stage and whatever. I didn't really get the nerves at first.
Okay.
And it was actually problematic because my bow, I have it set up to where I shoot really well under pressure. And when I'm just completely calm and shooting, it doesn't really shoot the same.
Okay.
It's kind of different.
That's interesting. But I believe you. I'm tracking.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a little interesting. So anyways, the first practice end, course, it meant nothing. I shot like X1010, and it was not good shots. And I was like, this isn't gonna go well. And I started like trying to breathe heavy, trying to get my heart rate up. I was trying to do something because I don't shoot the same completely calm that I do with a high heart rate.
Okay.
And my bow is set up to perform in competition with a high heart rate.
This is interesting.
Yeah. And so then it came the first scoring end, and the first scoring end was just the 10. So just got to hit that. It's like 50-cent size 10 ring. And so anyways, and then that one I shot like XX10. And, if that had been just all X's, then would have been over. And once again, it was like I couldn't get my heart rate up. And then finally, when it was, okay, this is your first end of X's counts as 10. If you miss it, you're out. My heart rate was up. I started really going, started getting a little nervous, and then like shot 3 inside outs, and then it really turned on from there.
Okay, so 3 arrows, one end was your warm up. 3 arrows, normal game.
Yep.
Another end of 3 arrows, normal game.
It was practice.
Normal.
1 normal, and then X's.
X's or 10s.
Yeah.
And you go 3 inside out, which means perfect shots.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you're hitting the X or if you're inside out. But I'm just saying that it was
That's what it did for you.
It was a big change. It was, it was going from, like.
Do you remember how many
X's,
guys were
whatever.
eliminated when X's were 10s on that first end?
I
imagine a lot of people. It's got to be cut in half.
It wasn't really. There are a lot of good shooters nowadays.
Damn.
I think there was one that dropped in the just 10 round, which is kind of unfortunate. And then the first X round, maybe 1 or 2 or 3, maybe. And it was kind of just consistent that way. It was like every round you had another 3, another 3, 4, whatever it was.
So how many ends, not including practice, did you shoot to get 8th in the world?
I think I went out on the 7th end. It was either the 6th or the 7th, but I don't know. But yeah, it was crazy. I just kept shooting and people kept dropping. My arrows kept landing. I'm like, all right, well, we'll see where this goes. But yeah, there were some shots that I really was like still like praying on the stage. Like one of the arrows was just, I mean, the lighting is so much different up there. I could barely see my pin. And anyways, just kind of lost a little bit of focus. And of course, you know what English is, where you shoot, you break a shot, and you try to swing it back into the middle or whatever it is. I had a shot just like that, and I thought it was gonna be like a 9, like not even in the 10. I thought it was gonna be like just an inside out 9, and I freaking swung it back and it landed in the X somehow.
So yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah,
I'm not at that level to be able to swing anything in, but that's interesting. So looking back, because I wanted a couple weeks to go by for you to like digest, because it wasn't that long ago. Looking back as hindsight, what were your takeaways to bring into this off season and this whole year round process of becoming a professional archer?
Yeah, I mean, really the biggest thing for me right now at the point I'm at, I think, is time. Because of course, switching to full time and then switching to becoming a manager of the shop, I have a lot less time on my hands. And when I do have time, it's usually spent with Kayla or with my family or whatever it may be. And so, yeah, that's going to be my biggest struggle this year, I'm sure, is finding the time that I need to, because it does take a lot of time and a lot of reps. And it's not just something you can get away with, not shooting very much. Like, you do have to be on top of it, because if you're not preparing, guarantee you someone else is preparing much more than you. And I'd rather not get outworked that way. So that's going to be the biggest thing for me. I'd say for the last year or so, I've really built a good mental platform. I feel like my equipment is great. I mean, everything is clicking all around. Yeah, it's just going to be time. And I haven't been shooting a bow for that long anyways. And so that's where that is really the big thing that I'm battling right now. So,
okay. The shooting at home, is that an option for you? Is it inside blank bailing, or do you actually have property, or where can you shoot at home?
I can shoot at home. We have 5 acres, so I can shoot outdoors.
Okay.
But it's, usually pretty windy, and then it's also kind of a side hill to get the range, and so then your footing ain't right. And anyways, it's difficult to actually shoot like a Vegas style game that way. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
of course I always practice in the shop.
Yep.
But I've got ASA stuff coming up now, so I've just been shooting our 3D course at the range.
How's the lighting in the shop compared to the Vegas shoot?
Depends where you are. I'd say on the stage, the lighting is really, really good, and it's actually so good that the targets are so bright that since I'm shooting just a fiber, I just have a blue fiber, it almost washed out completely because the targets
Will
are
you change
so
that
bright.
next year?
Maybe. I don't know. It still worked out okay.
Will you do Lancaster next year?
I'd like to, yeah.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah.
What about Rushmore?
Maybe, maybe not. I think the ones that I'll be caring about the most will be the ones that really look good on a resume, which would be the ones that are media covered. So
Yep.
ASAs, Vegas, Lancaster is basically all that's media covered nowadays.
So your first ASA is Minden?
Yeah. Yeah.
Never done one?
No, haven't done one, no.
I don't think Josh Jones has very many ASA targets at that archery shop
He
or
doesn't.
archery range.
He
What are you
does
going to do
not.
about that?
It's, how do I explain this?
Yeah, how do you?
You still have to area aim,
Sure.
and if you're good at reading a target, it kind of doesn't make a huge difference on what, at least to me, doesn't make a huge difference on whether I'm shooting a Reinhardt target or a Delta McKenzie target, because a Delta McKenzie is going to have your 12 and your 14, your upper 12, lower 12, and your Reinhardt's just going to have a center 11 and then 10. And of course, we have all Reinhardts right now. But yeah, I mean, if you learn how to read a target really well, pick out spots on a target, and you learn how to area aim, which is basically you're picking out a spot and you're putting your pin and saying that's right about the right area, and then you let it go and see where it hits.
Yeah.
I've done really well at 3Ds before. I've won a lot of local 3D stuff, of course. But I don't know, the way I look at it too is, I mean, ASAs, yeah, you're gonna battle some lighting, you might battle a little bit of weather conditions or whatever.
Certainly.
But we have out here, anything's gonna be easier than our 70-yard, 30-degree downhill, 20-mile-an-hour wind. Like, we hit some nutty stuff out here that's really hard to shoot in. And I'm pretty confident that if I'm able to make it work in that, I think the ASAs will end up working out okay.
Yeah. Hey guys, interrupting the pod to let you know about our awesome partner Stealth Cam. Been running them forever. They're the most durable. My favorite trail cam of all time is still the DS4K. It is a non-cellular, and I like to leave that baby soaking in that backcountry where you don't even get cell service. Put at least a 128 gigabyte card, throw some AA lithiums, or use their rechargeable battery. And check out this little guy right here. The Soul Pack will help extend the battery life so you can let trail cameras soak year round, which is really convenient for your gas mileage. And then it's also like Christmas when you finally get to go check that camera. Leave it over a pinch point, some sort of saddle or wallow. Check out the Fusion Max. They have a whole line. They have a great app that works well with the cellular, where legal. Totally awesome. We have discount codes with Stealth Cam, which not only helps support them, but us here at the pod. Discount code ELKSHAPE20 will save 20% on non-cellular trail cams, and ELKSHAPE10 will take 10% off cellular trail cams from Stealth Cam, which is awesome. Trail Camology is just a tool. It is just a way for you to learn about the area, the predators, the animal behavior, the biology, and hunting pressure. It's just a tool, but it's a very helpful one that might help you have more success. Hey, we're interrupting the pod today to let you know about our awesome partner, Vortex Optics. We've been working with them directly since 2010. This company is veteran owned and they're out of Wisconsin. We've been to their HQ multiple times. Amazing people, amazing products, and they have the VIP warranty. No questions asked. You break it, they'll fix it. Something you can stand behind. And that VIP warranty follows the product. When it comes to going out west, a lot of times I'm running the Razor UHD 12s by 50s or the 10 by 42s. And for you whitetail hunters, they even have a smaller guy, which is great for the whitetail. Check out the Razor 10 by 32. This is what I take for my whitetail hunts. For my rifle, I have my Fury HDs. This is where all my ballistic information is input with my 6.5 PRC. I can click, tell where to dial. It's awesome. And then in the backcountry, I'm always running some sort of spotting scope, whether it be angled 65 Razor or you can check out the mini razor, which is probably my all-time favorite. It's a 56 millimeter. You can see that I have this. It's very packable. It's light. Throw it on a light tripod and you're good to go. Head over to Vortex Optics, check out some of their products. And if you're going to wear Vortex wear, their hats, their swag, their tees, even their sunglasses, enter the discount code ELKSHAPE. It'll take 20% off. Today's podcast is brought to you by Wilderness Athlete. They've been a partner of mine since 2006. These guys are a supplement company, not a marketing company. They're out of Arizona. And these are the supplements that I take not only in the field, but year round. During the off season, you won't catch me without creatine, HMB. And in the field, I'm always taking Hydrate and Recover. They have multivitamins, fish oil, joint support, meal replacements, post-workout protein. Head over to wildernessathlete.com, throw some stuff in your cart, enter the discount code ELKSHAPE. It'll take 20% off. Again, this is a great brand. They're not a marketing company. They are a supplement company made for hunters by hunters. Back to the pod. Does your coach go with you?
No.
Because this is what I'm worried about. You getting out strategized.
Sure.
At an ASA where, you know, these guys know which targets. Because it seems like every ASA, you'll have a few guys that are like X amount of points up. Meaning, for those that don't follow me, like these dudes are above the score that you could get if you shot all 10s, right?
Yes.
And so, like, how many targets is on an ASA day one?
I think it's 20.
Okay, and is it 3 days, 2 days?
It's 2, so I believe it's 20 Friday and 20 Saturday.
Okay, so total points is what?
400. 400 is even.
And
400
these
is
guys
if you
are
hit the
showing
10
up
every
with
time.
440.
Yeah.
435. And so, like, then they go to the shoot off and they take the top 5 typically, right? And then it's not a shoot off anymore at the archery range. It's like, I'm just telling you what I've observed online. And this is a guy, and I'm not trying to offend anyone at ASA. This is just a knuckle dragging bow hunter being like, well, why aren't you doing the shoot off outside with the wind and the lighting? Like, now you're indoors, and it's just weird to me.
Yeah, that was
they take all the controls out.
That was just the first ASA. So Foley is the only one where you end up shooting indoors.
Oh, okay. So I'm ignorant.
Rest of them go outside.
So you'll be outside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, be 5 of you, and it doesn't matter what your score is. If you're top 5, you're in it, and you do the shoot off. Well, I'm here to tell you, I've watched enough ASA shoot offs online to know that, like, a lot of the dudes that are in the lead try to just be real conservative and hold on, protect that lead. And then you got the dudes in the back, like spot number 4, spot number 5, who are like, shit, I'm going for it all.
Yeah.
And they're drilling, aggressive. They're calling 12s and 14s. And then after 3 or 4 ends, all of a sudden it's like
it's changed
completely. The score was changed. And so, like, there is a lot of strategy. Are you real familiar with the scoring system? Are you good at fast math? Like, you're going to go to win, right? Like, you're not going to.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different factors that go into it. Like, it's not just, oh, I need a 14. It's what targets do I have coming up? How well can I see things on this target? What's the distance on this target? What target does my opponent have? Are they going to go for a 12? Are they going to go for a 14? Like, there's a lot of things to consider there. And I'd say the closest practice I've got to that is top pin.
Okay.
Because it is the same scoring. Of course, it's the same scoring in the shoot off. It's a little different outside the shoot off because the entire weekend you are allowed to go for 14s. Okay. But as far as the upper 12 and lower 12 play, it's still the same. So call upper 12. You can shoot at a lower. If you want to shoot an upper, you have to call it. Or you could say at the beginning of the round, say, I'm going to shoot all uppers unless I call lower, whatever it is. So you just have to make it known.
And that's when they move the cone at ASA. You'll see them put the cone out in front. Does that mean I'm going for upper 12?
I think it means you're going for, I think that means upper. It might mean 14, but I think it means upper.
It means something.
Yeah, it means something.
Do you have to call lower 12?
No.
So
lower,
if you hit a lower 12, you get it?
Yes, unless, let me think here. I believe if you call an upper and you hit a lower, I believe it's just a 10.
That makes sense. But if you don't say anything and you hit a lower 12, you get 12.
Yes.
Are you an upper or lower?
Definitely upper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like shooting upper a lot. And I don't know, it just kind of logically, it kind of makes sense for me because generally my weak shots will end up going a little bit low. And so if I don't drill an upper, I'm in a 10 ring.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
The same with me. My weak shots are always low.
Yeah.
ASA rules on feet per second.
I believe 290 is the maximum.
What are you taking?
I'll take a Title 40 with, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do 65 or 70 pound mods. I usually shoot 65 pound mods. But then I'll build some Easton Superdrive 27s, which are their carbon. I already have some built up that I'm kind of playing with. The weights, I want to get this as close to the speed limit as I can, but more than that, I care about how the bow actually shoots. And so if those fat arrows don't shoot as good at 290, then I'll shoot them at 260 or 270, whatever it is.
Whatever.
Yeah. So I think right now my indoor bow with those arrows at like 63 pounds, I think is shooting 265 or something.
Let off?
75.
Release aid.
I use a True Ball Goat right now. And it's worked really well for me. And I really like it a lot. I'm just shooting it as the button because it can do both.
I was going to ask you, yeah.
Yeah.
You decide on the button.
Yeah, I shoot the button
You got a
really
cool
well.
shot break. The only reason I know this, I edited, well, I have to bring this up, but I was shooting with somebody at the archery range.
Joel and Townsend? Is that
Yeah,
his
yeah,
name?
yeah. So Towson just got his target panic cured in an hour. Greatest thing I've ever seen. Joel's best work ever. Obviously, Towson can shoot, but he was level 10 target panic when he got here. I mean, he couldn't even hold on. You know what I mean? So, and he was shooting a hinge. And when he left here, he's now shooting the Onyx C.
Yeah.
But you came up and were like, Dan, challenge. And I was like, thinking, no. Okay. And
shoot this pronghorn at
yeah.
117.
Yeah. I'm 1-0 against you, and I'm never going to challenge you again. So I'm always 1-0.
That was a very good shot. It really was.
But I watched the footage of your shot break, is what my point of that. When I was editing that video, I was like, there's a lot of like
explosion. Yeah.
It is really sexy. And I mean that in a very, very gay way.
Oh
I'm
my
joking.
gosh.
But I'm saying, like, you just got a really good break, man. Like, it's really like, there's just boom.
Yeah.
It's cool to watch you shoot. Not everyone has that, I guess, is what I've noticed. And so you're shooting that goat pretty much like surprise release. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's a surprise, but it's, of course, I'm still consciously like, when my pin is around where I want it to be, I start engaging the trigger, and then it just breaks when it breaks.
It breaks when it breaks.
So,
and it's obvious.
Yeah.
So I like that. What rest did you put on that title? 40.
My title, I think I have a Hamsky. Oh, what's it called? It's a Target Hybrid, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's not the one with the bar underneath and then the blade up here. It's like just a little, almost like it's just a little dowel with the blade on it. And because I do that because the Trinity that most people shoot, it'll end up like hitting your hand when it has the bar on the bottom. Yeah, Trinities do that.
Yep.
So anyways, so I shoot
I got the scars to prove it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I shoot the Target Hybrid for that right now.
What side are you taking ASA?
I don't know yet.
Damn, that's a tough one, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you leaning towards?
Well, right now I have a bow finger.
Okay.
And I really like my bow finger because it's so solid. Like, I know I've done this a couple times, of course. You drop bows, things fall over.
Yeah.
Bow falls over, pick the bow back up, and I'm like, oh, shoot. Now I got to check and see if I'm still sight in. Shoot one arrow, still in the middle. I'm like, all right, great. And it's a really tough sight.
Something to be said about that.
Yeah, it's a solid sight. Now, the only thing is, like with Excels, yeah, they have the bridge lock thing that's a little nice for the Matthews. Excels also have a micro adjust indicator on them. So if you're running a sight tape like I would be at a ASA like that, and let's say that your marks are off a half a yard or a yard, you just have your little micro adjust thing. You can move your indicator without having to like adjust the Allen, move it with your fingers, barely tighten it back down.
Too coarse for your world. It's got to be exact.
It has to be fine. Yeah, so that's really nice about it too. The fast travel on it is really nice.
And that's getting from a close distance to a further distance really fast.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean Excel. Who isn't shooting an Excel that's at the top right now? You have Bodie shooting an Excel. Matthias is shooting an Excel. I believe, I can't remember if Mike Schlosser's, I think he's shooting an Excel. He's either shooting an Excel or Shibuya. But anyways, there's a lot of really good shooters that are shooting Excel. And I mean, generally when you see that, most of the time you want to follow the trend. Same thing with Easton. It's like X10s, they're most winningest arrow. Like there's no doubt that that's the most accurate arrow out there. And so I was like, I want to shoot that. That's what I want to shoot. So
no, that's cool that I know all you guys pay attention to what you're shooting and whatnot. How's the camaraderie been for you, kind of a newer guy on the scene, but kind of making a pretty big splash at Vegas? Did you get to hang out with any of your heroes? rub elbows with anybody that were like, wow, that was cool? Or do you just stay in your lane?
Well, I mean, it's such an interesting atmosphere at tournaments because it's not like you're hanging out with a bunch of celebrities. That it's just a bunch of other real people.
Yeah.
You know, and like you go to for the Vegas shoot, they put you in this VIP back room thing until you have to go out and shoot. And so we had like an hour and a half, these two different rooms where you have, some of the biggest names in the sports with all these incredible titles that I've been shooting for years and years. And like I was, in the room with Chris Perkins and Jimmy Lutz and Mike Schlosser, Sawyer Sullivan. I mean, some phenomenal shooters. But they're just guys. I mean, all get along and make dumb jokes, and it's just a bunch of dudes. It's just fun.
That's awesome, man.
But yeah, I mean, as far as the reception goes, I mean, it's not like it's and like camaraderie. I don't know. It's just like you're just normal people, really. And when you get out on the line, and all you really have to talk to is God and the guy standing right next to you. And so it's like you never know who's going to be standing right next to you. So you just got to be friendly and just have a good time.
I do like that. The slate's wiped clean when you step on the line. Doesn't matter how many titles you've won or tournaments or shooter of the years. It's right now in that arrow. Will you get to Minden several days early? Like, I think you'll need some time to check your marks. So I kind of want to know, when are you getting there? What's your protocol? And do you use any like archery apps to dial in your marks?
Okay, that's a couple different questions. I'll go to the app thing in a second. I'm getting there Wednesday. Competition is actually on Friday and Saturday, I believe.
Fair.
So I'll have all day Thursday and most of the day Wednesday. Actually, I think I get there fairly early.
Good.
So anyways, I'll have all day Thursday to do stuff. As far as marks and stuff go, I've had a weird phenomenon with my setup, and I think it has to do with my draw length and the poundage I'm shooting and stuff. My speeds almost don't change when it goes like elevation wise, and I'm sure humidity will play a part, but like from here to Reading, like when I shot Reading this last year, my marks did not change. My tape was perfect, and by perfect I mean like 77-yard zebra or whatever it is, like money. Like not even a little bit different. And almost everybody else I'm shooting with is like they go there, they have to add another yard, they have to print out a new tape, or they have to whatever. They shoot in marks on an app on their phone to make sure that it's correct for the right environment, whatever. And so I don't know why that doesn't really affect my setup a lot, but it doesn't seem to. So we'll see. Of course I'm gonna tackle it and see what happens. But I'll probably more than likely I'll end up taking a couple different tapes with me that I already know are like I'll just change the margin by a couple thousandths and then just print out a couple and then just take them with, because I like to shoot a tape. I don't really like to shoot the digital marks, me personally, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's going to be a learning experience for sure. We'll see, but yeah.
I don't know. I don't want it to be too much of a learning experience. I would like it to be more of a like, well, if I'm being honest, I'd like you to go kick some ass. Honestly, I'm rooting for you. I wish Bodie could do ASAs too. He's still in high school, but I think for you to go down there, I'm just so excited. I want you to crush. I'm rooting for you, man. But obviously I know you need to gain the experience, and it's like anything. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And it's tricky not having a coach there in person or a mentor there. So it's like, it's kind of you against the world. Like,
yeah, I mean, well, there is, like I said, there's still that camaraderie though of like, these people that are way better, or not necessarily. I mean, everybody should think that they're the best if they want to have a chance at winning, but these people that actually do have more experience than I do and have been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Like Jeff Rainey, I met him in Vegas last year and we hung out a little bit last year. And then this year we ended up catching up again, and he's a phenomenal ASA shooter.
Yeah.
And so it's not like I'm going down there not knowing anybody, not, having someone, different people I can ask about things. 'Cause, I mean, there's a lot of guys down there that shoot everything. They shoot ASAs really well, and they know a lot more than me, and so it's not like I don't have anyone to ask. And so yeah, I mean, there's still that camaraderie of, we're all trying to help each other out, and it's not like if you came up to me and asked me, hey, why is this, what do I do about this? Why is this not working? It's not like I'm going to say, oh, go figure it out yourself. I'm going to try to help you because, I mean, of course, one, it's nice, it's courteous, but it's also like, as a competitor, I don't want to beat you with you having problems. I want to beat you at your best to show that I'm the best.
Yep.
And so it's just part of it. So, no one's ever going to turn you down when it comes to, helping with anything. And so, I'm not really too worried about it. I'm going to go down there and see how it goes. And if I need help, then I'll find it where I can find it. So
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So do you have plans to do multiple ASAs this year, or are you just kind of doing, oh, you do?
That's the idea. We'll see what I can actually end up working out. But as of right now, I'm going to try to do Minden, London. I think there's one in Illinois. I can't remember what it's called. And then Coleman, which is Alabama, I believe. So anyways, I'm going to try to do 4.
Those are all across the country, man.
They are.
That's brutal. Are you doing Reading too?
No.
Okay.
Not doing Reading this year.
All right. So really diving in on the ASAs. I think 3 would be the minimum I'd want you to do, like to really decide, make a decision. Like, okay, here's where I'm at. Here's my litmus test. Here's my metrics that I can measure. And then go back to the lab and then just kind of manage an archery shop and try to squeeze in perfect practice, and I think it's going to be challenging. You're right. I'm glad that you recognize that being a manager of Spokane Valley, I mean, that place is busy every time I go down there. Every time.
Doesn't matter if it's a Wednesday or a Saturday or whatever. Yeah, it's always busy.
And Josh's website is insane, and all that flows in there too. And now he's got 2 shops, and he's just, he's a madman. The dude's a madman. He was just here. He just stopped by randomly, and you could see him and I just behind the scenes. Like, we have it's pretty stressful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is.
So you can experience that, and you're just gonna have to say no to certain things to make sure that nothing's getting in the way of your true number 1 goal,
which is seeking the Lord.
And then your second goal is
my family, and
your third goal is
my career,
and then your 4th goal.
I guess my job. Maybe my job should be up there, but that's part of my career. I would say that my competition archery and my job kind of fall into the same category.
Fair. But I do want you to really, you'll always be able to do great customer service, manage employees, make sure inventory. Like, that's honestly, Michael, you can do that the rest of your life. But the target, the competition archery, dude, you're there. Like, you're in it. You got to pour gas on it, man. You got to pour gas now. So that's cool. And I love that you have support from Josh and everybody there that knows what you're up to. Could you imagine trying to go do that and not have their support?
Yeah.
It wouldn't
impossible.
Work. It wouldn't work.
Yeah. The amount of things that Josh does to take care of me. And, like I said, like Evan Matthews and, just Cody with Easton and whatever, there's a number of different things that just make it, make it way more possible than it ever has been. And, would be impossible. I mean, a lot of this stuff is pretty expensive. And so for someone working in an archery shop, it's like,
you're telling me,
it's really,
just that travel you already mentioned rattled off, because your time's your most valuable thing. And I'm here to tell you, don't fly to Alabama in a direct flight from Spokane, Washington. Ain't happening. So we're talking layovers. And then we're talking, you got to get there at a decent time, which means early, to get a hotel, to settle in. And then maybe you'll get out when competition ends, but there's a chance you might have to stay an extra night just to get out. It's, it's a lot, man. It's going to take a toll. And I'm glad that you have a good support system at home. That'll be a lot. And that obviously you're spiritually fit. I love that you're talking to the good Lord while you're shooting on the line. I love that. I love that you're not being like, I get all my strength from michaelallman.com. That's a good domain. Do you have that domain yet?
No.
You might want to buy that. Here's what we're going to do today. I got an Achieve XP. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, XP Pro.
XP Pro. And some dude, I wish I knew his name. You saw all the stuff he sent me last time you were here. For no good reason other than he was excited that I was going to get into target archery. And then I had knee surgery, and I kind of haven't shot a game in 10 weeks, if I'm being honest. I want to kind of get that spruced up. I don't want to sleep on target archery. I know what it can do for my bow hunting. And that's all I care about, right? So I want to mess with that today a little bit. And then that nephew of mine, if you see those boxes that just landed, homeboy got himself an RS lift. Southpaw. We might have you like look at setting that up for him today.
Sure.
But I want to put you on the channel. I want people to know about you.
Oh, we got time.
We got time.
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
So my YouTube channel, I think, is Michael Allman Archer, and that's kind of what I use for most of my social media stuff. So Instagram's, Michael Allman _Archer or something like that.
Last time you came over here, I told you to start publishing more.
I know.
Have you?
I have not.
What the heck? What, you didn't do it behind the scenes at Vegas?
I know.
You could have vlogged BTS behind it. I would have watched it.
Yeah, right.
So guys, get on his channel, hit subscribe, and start commenting to whatever the latest video is and be like, just type in more ! And I want Michael to grow his YouTube channel. I'm also trying to get Bodie to get a YouTube channel. You young kids right now, YouTube's the best platform. It's got a search bar. It's long form. And there's always an audience for every human being. There's going to be people out there that absolutely love your stuff. And you'll have a few that hate your stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll let you know.
Oh, yeah.
Ignore. And just keep posting, keep making stuff. I have a lot of subs. I still make videos that flop. I still make videos that do well. I don't care. I'm documenting my journey, and I'm asking you to do the same. Can you do that?
I think it's becoming more of a real possibility with the platform I'm trying to build with the whole competition archery thing, because that is it's a big deal for especially brands when you have that YouTube, Instagram, that kind of thing, and have a good resume to back it up. It's really
good
valuable.
person, Michael. I'm here to tell you.
Thank you.
You're a great dude.
I think I was raised pretty well.
I'm really impressed with you, and I would tell you if I wasn't. You know that. So I'm rooting for you, dude. I want to see you do well, and I love that you're local here. So guys, go ahead, check out. We'll put a link in this show video description. Click on his Instagram if you're on there. Follow. Click on his YouTube. Subscribe, and then go to the last video and comment more ! We're going to get him to post content and grow his brand. And hopefully this ASA, we get to watch the shootout I'll be able to watch you from my home computer.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome, dude.
We might have to talk about some hunting sometime too.
Oh, well, let's end on a little hunting story, because you are an elk hunter.
Yeah.
Through and through. How old were you when you shot your first bull?
20.
Okay, that was 2 years ago?
This last year.
This 2024 was your first archery elk?
My first one harvested, yes. I've taken shots that have, you know how North Idaho is, brush, deflections.
Ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've taken shots that haven't.
Why are you wasting
panned
your
out,
time in
but
North Idaho, dude?
I wonder that. People tell me
I
that.
say that in jest. I love North Idaho elk, but I hate North Idaho elk. It's a love-hate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult. It's not easy hunting. It's very much the opposite. And the amount of people that I talk to that come into the shop that are like, oh, this is all you hunt? Man, if you go down somewhere where you could actually see, you'd probably kill stuff every single year. And I'm like, that sounds very tempting.
But I love the challenge in North Idaho.
Yeah.
And there's some cool bulls that get really heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Really thick.
Yeah, people don't understand. I mean, there's elk everywhere, and there's big bulls everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you get into some pockets sometimes that it's like, oh man, this is a really cool looking.
Did you shoot your elk with your girlfriend there?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. Tell us that.
So, okay, here's gonna be my one hunting story. So I spent, let's see, I still wasn't full time yet at the shop, and so I was just working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then I was off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I had the weekends, and then of course Mondays. And anyways, I had hunted. I think I'd been out 2 or 3 times or something, and it was pretty slow early on last year. It was really good. Like August 30th was like really good. Bulls screaming everywhere. Temperatures were a little high, but they weren't crazy yet. For whatever reason, August 30th was great. And then there was kind of a dry spell for me.
Lull.
Yes, a lull, yeah. It was probably 10 or 15 days. I really didn't get anything like crazy. You're so much relying on noise in North Idaho.
Without vocalizations?
You can't see anything. And so you either just got to have a good camera with a good stand, or you got to, have elk talking. Mm-hmm. And funny enough, the elk that I killed did not say a peep. And it was a situation where it was going up on a Saturday or a Sunday or something. I knew it was going to be busy.
Yep.
North Idaho's crowded, trucks at every single gate.
Yep.
And anyways, so me, Kayla, and Kayla's dad, Russ, we all went out and we had one spot in mind. There's a truck there. Another spot in mind. There's a truck there. And anyways, after we go past like 7 different spots, I'm like, okay, every one of these has people at it. Let's just go bomb off the road and just get in some thick stuff. I know there's elk all around here. And like 200 yards off the road, found some pretty fresh beds and just cow called a little 2x2 in. And I told myself earlier in the season, like I prefer not to shoot spikes, but I also told myself that I need to fill the freezer and I'm not necessarily going out there to kill the biggest bull that there is.
Sure.
But I didn't really want to shoot a spike. I'd actually passed on a spike weekend before, I think it was. I called in a spike to like 15 yards. And anyways, this bull came walking in and I saw that he had at least 2 points on one side. And I was like, okay, that's technically not a spike. And, spike aged. But anyways, cow called him right in, walked to like 20 yards, put a good shot. I shot a beast 2.3 inch.
Oh.
Full pass through, straight through him. Bull ran 20 yards and fell over.
So he didn't go 20.
Oh, no, he did not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like cutting up an elk in real life and packing it out for the first time?
It wasn't the first time, actually. I've been on a lot of hunts where
so you got
elk
experience.
get shot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've had experience. But yeah, I mean, so I knew what I was doing.
It's
of
kind
course,
of
I've
fun
killed deer.
stroking with your blade. Every ounce of that flesh is going to feed your flesh.
Yeah.
It's different.
It is. Yeah, definitely. I was lucky enough to, there's roads everywhere in North Idaho.
Yes, sir.
I was lucky enough. My bull died like 300 yards from a road. Of course, it was all uphill, but it wasn't miles or anything crazy.
Sure.
So we were able to get it back fairly quickly. I think I had my bull dead at 11, and I think that we were driving home at 3 or 4. So,
do you think Idaho should adopt the like Montana? You can't shoot spikes. Colorado, I think it's got to be a branched antlered bull. Do you feel like Idaho needs to lay off the spikes? It's kind of controversial, but this is your opinion.
It's a very interesting subject because let's see here. So yes, while spikes, it would be cool to leave them. And if you look at the harvest statistics in North Idaho, it's like 50% spike. It's nuts. Like it's a lot of spikes get killed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you give that a few years. Yeah, you're going to have, if you have 50% spike harvest, then yeah, that 50% of the elk that got killed, let's say that in one unit, let's say that's 200 bulls that are spikes that get killed. Yeah, next year, they're going to be all some sort of little raghorn, technically branch antlered, whatever. And it'll be cool because they're going to vocalize more. They might be, they're going to be bigger as well. They're going to feed you better. It's not going to be a, 400-pound spike. It's going to be a 600-pound bull or, 550 or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a little more that way. It's hard management wise. I've talked to a couple different, we have a guy that comes into the shop a lot. He helps count and manage some of the herds on the Spokane. I think it's the Spokane reservation. It's either that or like Colville.
It's Colville.
It's probably Colville. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Colville reservation. Anyways, and he was telling me about how, it can be difficult to really decide what you're going to do, but there's no doubt that shooting out spikes only creates big bulls because your weird genetics, year 1, 2, 3 points, ones that have, I picked up a shed that was like a spike and then it had a back end of like 1, 2, 3 that had it looked like it had a beam and just a weird little shed. And anyways, actually no, I think it was my grandma that picked that up actually. But anyways, it's part of the shed pile. And so you get, when you shoot out just pure spikes, you do get better bulls because the weird ones live, the bigger ones live. That first year, they don't get shot, and then they just get bigger and bigger, and that's how the blues work. So, like down in the blues, you can only shoot spikes. There's no doubt that is one of the best trophy units in the state, and there's some phenomenal bulls out there. So, I don't know. It's difficult. I wouldn't be opposed to them saying brow tine bulls only and running it for like 3 or 5 years and seeing how it pans out, because I think it would go well, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. I think you'd see less. I think you'd see less bulls get shot right from the road, because spikes can be really dumb. And the amount of spikes I've seen like from the road, or like someone with a spike in their truck and they're like, "Oh yeah, I shot it 50 yards up the hill there," you know, because spikes can be pretty dumb. I mean, they're young.
Yeah. That's interesting. I do think you'll have to remember that North Idaho Panhandle unit has no objective for elk.
That is the thing. Yeah.
And I hate that, because the hunting culture in North Idaho is diehard.
It's huge. It is huge.
That's not the sentiment.
I wasn't even into
These
hunting.
animals are valued.
I wasn't even hunting when I moved here. I knew about the hunting culture.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's diehard, and people are crazy about it. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it too, is when you have that many diehard hunters that are hunting to fill the freezer, they don't really care. And they just want something in the freezer. And if Idaho Fish and Game looks at the success numbers and they're floating around whatever they have been for the last 10 years, 10, 15% success rate, then they're not going to change anything. And
you're probably right.
Who cares if it's 50% spike harvest or if it was 50% 6-point harvest? I mean, if the harvests are being made, people are getting fed, and the hunting culture is that way, and the success rate's staying there, I don't think they're going to change anything.
So I guess that begs the question: are you coming back to North Idaho in 2025?
I probably have to, because I don't know if I could get away for that long.
Probably not, man.
With running this shop and everything. I know I'll be able to get 1 week off. So that's probably going to be a Sunday to a Monday the next week. So there's a chance that I'll end up going south to an area that you probably know pretty well.
I know every area.
Oh, I
just
know
for
you
the
do.
record.
I know
I
you
don't.
do. But I got
So those that are direct messaging me, I had one yesterday saying, "Hey, can you tell me about this specific unit in this zone?" And I was like, "No, I can't. I've never been there."
Yeah.
They're like, they think I'm lying. I'm like, "No. Guess what? Idaho's huge. I haven't hunted every corner of Idaho."
Well, I do think you know about this area.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
Sure.
But yeah,
I'm happy to share any information you need.
That would be
off camera.
That would be helpful. I've got a couple friends that go down to this area. Well, 2 they pretty much only hunt that area. They usually get 2 tags too.
Oh,
because they're there to fill a freezer. They both got families.
Yeah.
And if they can't shoot a bull, they'll end up shooting a cow.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's the only hint you get. It's
I got
any
it.
elk unit. But
I got
anyways.
it. I got it on lock. Yeah, man. Well, I hope you get those 11 days or whatever they end up being. I hope it's amazing weather. I hope that you're healthy and no vehicles break down, and that every ounce of free time besides driving there is elk hunting.
Yeah.
Because that's a finite number of days, man. And hopefully you make it happen. I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Guys, this is my friend Michael Allman. Give him a follow. Wanted to wish you nothing but success this ASA season. It's your first.
Thank you.
Give yourself some grace, but also be a savage out there and compete your butt off, man. Appreciate you coming down today. We're about to go film some cool content that you'll see on the ELKSHAPE YouTube channel. And maybe we'll get Michael to post more on his YouTube channel. Separation is in the preparation. We'll catch you on the next one.